Hey everybody, welcome back for another memory keeping plan with me. This time it's for the week of February 26th through March 3rd, and I am using for the first time a kit from Cafe with Anna, and it is the Black History kit with art from Painted Lilacs. And as soon as I saw Anna post this kit, I knew I had to get it. I thought, great, let's do it. And I think she was like one of the first shops to pick up this art, which is great. So ended up purchasing it from her, and I got the mini kit version on glossy paper, just FYI. So that worked out really well, actually. I ended up putting like 4 extenders this week just to use all of the wonderful full boxes. And because I had a lot of like really small things to mark, and that whole little mini kit got me through a whole week, even with all those extenders. So I'm really happy with that. Sorry for the streak of light here. If I film in the middle of the day, like I'm still trying to figure out my window situation. I do have a window in front of my desk in our new place, and I don't know. I try to like close the shade, but then the sun still peeks through. I'm still figuring out some things. Not my top priority here. But anyway, I wanted to make sure to use this kit for the end of Black History Month, since this was the end of February. There are so many other times I feel like you could use this kit, obviously for Juneteenth, for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. There's so many things. I think it would make a great like back to school kit or last week of school kit. I honestly think this could be used whenever because it's an important piece of art and referencing a lot of really important historical events. So I would definitely recommend you pick up this kit from either Anna or another shop who used the art. And I feel like there's a lot of different weeks that you could use it, and then basically any week in February, because February is always going to be Black History Month. So this did kind of connect with some things we did this week too. We did go to a local bookstore that focuses like all on promoting African American authors. So that was great. Other than that, the week was kind of just a continuation of some of the struggles that we had the week before, if you watched my last plan with me. So we started a really low point at the beginning of this week, and then things like gradually get better towards the weekend. But this was another kind of struggle week with taking care of our kitten as well as our cat, who was dealing with the fact that she was not getting as much attention as she normally does. Just a lot of trying to figure out if the kitten's medication was even going to help her or not, and trying to get her eating. I was still hand feeding her at this point. And the other struggle, I can't remember if this was the week before or the week that you're seeing here, is that she, so we bribe our cats because like you have to to get them to do what you want to do. They don't get treats unless like we're really trying to get them to do something. So churu is like both of their favorite treat. Clover has been getting it a lot more frequently than Evie does because Clover has to take so much medication. So we bribe for that. And this week, basically the beginning of this week and the end of last week, like she was starting to refuse to even eat that, which is like her favorite thing in the whole world, which was really scary. And the reason she was doing that is we were offering it to her after one of her liquid medications that for some reason tastes like grape or smells like grape, which just, why? Like, why do cat medications smell like things that they would never eat and that smell gross even to me? Like, ugh. So anyway, she was getting really fed up with us and just like even refusing treats, which was just so scary because she needed to eat, and her weight got down to like 5.2 pounds this week at the beginning of the week, and it was just not a good time. So I was hand feeding her, and we eventually got her eating more on her own. But this week started off in a really dark place, I'm going to be honest. Oh, I did pull in a couple of unfoiled underlays from Planet Hannah because I thought, what better time to use these? These were both freebies from a long time ago, and I don't usually use unfoiled things other than scripts. So I thought this wildflower pattern worked really well with the kit, and then so did just like the general, like I think that's a confetti pattern box. So I used those on my extender. I did a little bit of a different extender here because I had 2 scene boxes in this kit. So I did the flat lay on the opening of these extenders, and then I put the museum scene like in the center, and then I put my plans over these underlays that you're seeing here. So a little bit different for me. I don't know why I keep putting boxes or extender boxes on Thursdays in my planner, because I never end up laying it down straight. Like, it's always a little bit off because of the coil. So, oh well. But I think I like how it turned out. I think it's a little bit interesting and different. And I'm glad that I finally got to use those black underlays because they went really well with the colors of this kit. I think I pretty much used every single full box that was in the mini kit except for the matching girl for the person on Wednesday. So I used the afro version, and I think I left the dreads version out. I'll probably end up using that in what I'm calling Clover's health journal. I have a little B6 that I've been using to track Clover's health information. So I've just been using like real leftovers in there. I also really enjoy this pattern at the bottom washi, and that's going to be on the date covers at the top. It reminds me of my cats because they are calico cats. That looks a lot like their pattern. And I debated whether I was going to color block this week or do the scattered pattern. I did the scattered pattern because it was a mini kit, and I wasn't sure how far the mini kit was going to go because I hadn't used one from Cafe with Anna before. I think with this color scheme and the way the patterns are, it made sense to not color block, but I also think this could look really awesome color blocked. So do what you will with that. Yeah, this week I was trying to stay hopeful, which was a struggle because things were so difficult. But yeah, I was just reminding myself to have hope, to believe, to keep going. And I did use glitter headers as washi in the sidebar to make a little bit of space between my habit trackers and my weekly checklists and my half boxes and that sort of thing. I don't remember, I filmed this a while ago, so I filmed this on March 17th because I couldn't do the week before because I didn't have my kit yet because I changed kits. And now I am recording the voiceover on April 8th, so I don't remember at what point I do the deco, if I did it after the plans were down or if I did it as part of the base. I do have a habit tracker down for Clover's medication that she got daily. I just wrote in Clover's meds. She was getting like 5 different medications this week. I think actually we added a 6th at some point. Yeah, I can't remember what day we added the anti-nausea medication. Yeah, we started, I forgot to mention this in the last plan with me. The Saturday before this week that you're seeing here, we added an anti-nausea medication just to see if that would help with her appetite. And we did that for like a week, or maybe it was like 5 or 6 days. I can't remember. So she was getting like 5 or 6 different medications. So I just wrote in Clover meds for daily. That this week header is left over from a different kit, not from this one. And then I put in the weekly checklist for our dinners this week. On Saturday evening, I wrote a question mark because I don't know what I ate that day. I didn't write it down, and apparently it was not memorable. And then I put into like third boxes. So one I'm going to write in to have hope, and the other one I'm going to write in that Clover got stronger and started eating more. I think it wasn't until the next week where she really started like eating on her own again. Yeah, it wasn't until the next week where she started eating on her own. So I was still like putting wet food on my finger and just hand feeding it to her because for some reason she just did not want to like eat things off of her plate. So for having hope, or reminding myself to have hope anyway, I have a Hang In There Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then for Clover getting stronger, I have a sticker from Beneva Creations. I feel like I need to place another Beneva Creations order pretty soon because I'm running out of cat stickers because I mark a lot of stuff with my cats. So I was trying to figure out why even sped up this video ended up being like 35 minutes long, and I'm realizing it's because I must have been half asleep or something, or just stressed when I was, or rushing when I was doing this plan with me, because I like, especially on Tuesday, you're going to see me put a bunch of labels down and then have to pull them all back up because like I forgot that I had an extender, or I forgot how many things I was marking that day. So you're gonna see me struggle majorly with laying down stickers. That happened this week. I think it happened the next week too. Not the next week in the planner, but the next week I filmed, which is like actually 2 weeks from now because of, again, switching out kits and then ordering and having to wait on orders. But yeah, I just was like rushing and really wanted to play with stickers, but like was not focused enough to do it well. So anyway, at the top of Monday, I marked that I was really tired and thought I might be getting a sore throat. I wasn't sure if I was getting sick. I didn't end up getting sick. I think I might have seasonal allergies to my hometown that I never had seasonal allergies before. Oh well, figuring that out. So that pillow was from Pink Diamond Planner. And then I did some work. So I was lesson planning. So I marked that with a laptop sticker from Alicia Craft. And then I just used a camera piece of deco from the kit to mark that I was filming a haul and my lineup for March. The next thing I marked is a little silly, but it seemed momentous at the time. Clover was not eating properly the week before, and so she wasn't, the other end of things wasn't happening either. So this day that happened. I'm not going to go into details, obviously. So I have a cat icon from Planet Hannah. I did start using one of those grooming restraint bags that you can buy for your cat to either give them a bath or trim their nails or something like that. We don't submerge our cats. We've never had a reason to give them a full bath. They don't need a full bath like a dog would. So we got one just to give her medication. So I started using that this day because I was having to give her liquid medication on my own, and it was not going well. So I started using that because I think I nearly had a panic attack this day, I'm going to be honest. So I have a fox and cactus cat who is grumpy for that. And then Clover seemed a little bit more alert and stronger this day, probably because we were basically making her eat at this point. So I used a Beneva Creations cat to mark that. And then I was just watching more John Mulaney on Netflix. So I marked that with a television from Alicia Craft. Tuesday, I had been sleeping in our bedroom. My husband slept in the office with the kitten, and our other cat sleeps in that bedroom. And she woke me up screaming this morning because I think she was worried she wasn't going to get fed for some reason. So she was just like screaming at the top of her lungs. So I used a Beneva Creations character for that. And then while I was at my desk, or maybe I was in bed, I don't know, Clover, the kitten, was being a little lap cat. So I have another Beneva Creations cat for that. My neck was killing me this day. I think I slept at a weird angle. So I have a Molly headache sticker from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. for that. And then I did a little mini workout, especially so I could stretch out my neck and get it back in order. Okay, this is where you're going to see me have to pull up a lot of stickers. And I was worried some of these stickers were not going to stick back down, honestly. And with glossy paper, sometimes I don't like it because like you can definitely tell that the stickers got pulled up at some point. So I'm going to go over what happened next this day. So I was grading a bunch of papers. So I have an Alicia Craft laptop for that. I also filmed a plan with me for late January. So that is a piece of deco from the kit because it looks like a little planner notebook. And then this was a day we were both kind of stressed out because it seemed like Clover was less steady on her feet. So I'm going to use an anxiety Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. to mark that. It just felt like maybe she was getting worse. So we were nervous about that. And kind of what happened is like, it felt like she got worse. I'm going to pull up all those stickers again eventually. I'm realizing it's going to suck. But yeah, it felt like in hindsight that she got worse before she could get better. Like this was day 5 of medication for her. And basically it seemed like maybe the drugs just needed more time to kick in this time. It was just scary because the last time we put her on medication, I feel like she started getting better within like 3 days. And this time it just took a lot longer. So yeah, she was just less steady on her feet. The other thing was though, like before we started medication, she wasn't moving around like much at all. And then when we started medication, she started moving around more. So I feel like her symptoms, her neurological symptoms were more obvious. We're still keeping a super close eye on her. I'm going to have to read you all of Tuesday. You're going to see that in a second. I'm going to realize it right about now. Yeah. So yeah, we weighed Clover this day. We meant to do it on Monday, but we forgot. So I have a Cinderella paper scale and a Planet Hannah icon. She was down to 5.2 pounds, which was less than even the week before. She is back up to almost like 7 pounds now. Very quickly regained weight, so that was good. But this day she was weighing less and acting worse, and it was just a really scary day. I rounded out the evening by watching John Mulaney and Sleeping in the Office with Clover. Those two icons are both from Alicia Kraft. And then I used a Molly pill bottle icon from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. to mark this was day 5 of medication, which typically has been kind of like the guidelines of like how long to give the drugs to work. So the next morning, Nathan, before he went to work, my husband, if you don't know, he was really afraid for Clover because she didn't seem to be getting better at this point. So I'm going to mark that with an anxiety Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. After he left for work, I was working from home this day. She did try playing with one of her toys, which is like the first time she did that in a while. I want to say in like a couple weeks. So that was encouraging, honestly. So I have a Dust Bunny Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. because one of my cat's favorite toys is the Dust Bunnies. So we try to keep the house clean, but sometimes we don't. And she tries to eat Dust Bunnies. It's a lot. I did have my final therapy appointment this day. And it was final because I left my last job that gave me the health insurance possible to meet with this person. I do want to say, like, I didn't have to pay anything for therapy, and I've been in therapy for like the last 6 months. So my plan was quite good, even though they were contracting out with a company, like my health insurance company was contracting out with a different company. It was kind of confusing, but like I didn't end up paying anything for therapy, $0, which is nuts, but very helpful, obviously. So I'm grateful for that. This was our last meeting though, because I moved and left that job and everything. So I did end up like crying in therapy because I hadn't met with her in 2 weeks. So I had to explain to her like how Clover had relapsed and how I was dealing with that. And I was really scared, but she was very encouraging and reminded me that like I'm doing everything I can that's actually in my control, and that like I don't need to be grieving Clover right now because she's still here with me right now, and Clover's fighting and Clover's trying and I'm trying and my husband's trying, and I have made progress on like healing myself and working on my stress and my anxiety. So I really appreciated that therapist. She did recommend like taking a break from therapy for a bit because while I figure things out and get onto my new health insurance, and you know, I'd been talking to a therapist for like 6 months already, so it probably was a good time to take a break. And I wasn't doing weekly therapy. Like at first I was meeting with her maybe like once a month or every 3 weeks. And then during a really hard time, I was meeting with her every week. And then we switched to like every other week once things started to get more stable again. But I did really appreciate having someone to talk to during this really rough time of my life. And that wasn't even the plan. Like I was just trying to get control of like my work stress and family stress and things like that. And then after I started therapy is when Clover got sick. So in hindsight, that was a good choice, but that, you know, that wasn't originally the plan. So I had my last meeting with her, and then I had my office hour and was doing some grading. And Nathan called me during his lunch break to talk about some stuff. And I did end up going down to PetSmart again because we were already running out of that new food that we had bought for Clover the week before. So that's from Once More with Love. And I was able to get through the medication dose that I had to do on my own because my husband was at work. I got through that pretty calmly this day because I was really stressed out about doing it by myself. So that icon is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. I was reading a lot this week, like very short periods. I was trying to finish Dune before we went and saw the next movie on this weekend, but I ended up not finishing it until after we saw the movie, which turned out to be fine because the book and the movie towards the end really diverge in plot lines. So it's really interesting that way. But yeah, I was reading a little bit of Dune this evening, so that book is a piece of deco from the kit. We did have to go to CVS this day to pick up a pill version of one of Clover's medications because, like I said before, she hates liquid medications, but I can get her to take pills and tablets really easily. I've convinced her that they are treats, which is great. So we changed her steroid to a pill version. We got it filled through CVS. And if you've never filled a pet medication through a human pharmacy, it is so expensive. Like the guy at the window pulled up our receipt and he was like, "Oh, are you okay with the price of this?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's fine." Like it was like $200, y'all, for 15 tablets. So a 30-day supply for our kitten. Also, the pharmacist definitely thought that Clover was a human baby as he was talking to us. And we did not correct him. We're just like the people who filled the prescription knew obviously that a veterinarian was calling it in, but like, "Oh yeah, Clover, our baby cat." Anyway, that was a little weird, but and expensive, but we got through it. We were able to get a tablet version of that pill the next time we took Clover to Colorado to see her vet, and it was much cheaper at the vet hospital than it was at CVS, let me tell you. But we were just like trying to reduce as much stress as possible, so it was worth the money to us to pay for a tablet version of that drug, because the liquid stuff, she hates it so much. I watched Great British Bake Off that evening, and then we were just up late talking about what to do about Clover. So that's the end of Wednesday. And then on Thursday, it was Leap Day. So I thought it would be funny to use this Molly leaping all over this place sticker from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. The script is from Planet Hannah. Clover started eating more off her plate this day, which was really nice because that meant that she had more of an appetite. And I did send a video of her walking to her doctor in Colorado. So I used a camera icon and a little movie marquee. Both of those are from the kit. I did max out my Roth IRA this day because, tax day was coming up. So that sticker is from Mr. and Mrs. Mint. I had been making monthly contributions like all throughout last year, but I still had like a little bit more. I think they adjusted the max for Roth IRAs like after the tax year already started. So I had a little bit of extra money. So I figured I'll throw it at the Roth because honestly, I never know if I'm on track with retirement. Like things keep changing. So I am just saving whatever I can because I don't want to work forever, y'all. Then I worked out and I finished a PowerPoint I needed to do for my class the next day. And I was also still doing my Canvas training this day. So that icon's from Alicia Croft. And then it rained this day. I hope you're going to see this. I had to write on these labels before I put them down just because of where they were up against the coil with the extender. But that weather icon is from Planet Hannah. Then I'm going to mark playing with Evie, who's our adult cat, because she still, of course, needed attention, even though she's not the one who's sick, but she needs lots of attention. So I'm going to mark that with an icon from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. and a gold foiled script from Planet Hannah. This was the only label in the kit where I would not have been able to write on it. So it's a good thing I had a foiled script for that. Because if I didn't, then I'm not sure how I would have used that label. But I like the look. I love doing dark colored labels with scripts that are metallic. It looks great. It's just I don't always have the scripts for it. And then I continued reading Dune. I love the script pattern in this kit. I am not able to read what script it is or what text it is. So if you know, please let me know. I figure it's probably some important document for the civil rights movement, but I can't read any of it. So I am curious to know what document is included in the papers for this kit. So if you know, let me know. The custom script is from Planet Hannah, by the way. And the book is another piece of deco from the kit. And then I watched Great British Bake Off and slept in the office with Clover. So those two icons are both from Alicia Croft. Friday was March 1st, which meant that it was 8 months with our little Clover kitten. So I'm going to mark that with a Beneva Creations cat sticker. And this was also the first week complete of Clover's second round of treatment. So you're not going to see it in this clip because I didn't have the right color icon for this yet. I got a new sheet of these pill icons from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And at the point that I was filming this, I only had a few colors left. So I had to reorder, but eventually, when you see my flip through or my Instagram pictures or something, there will be a sticker there. Clover was playing with some string this day. Yeah, see, that yellow color would not have really matched this kit, so I just left it out until I got my new sheet from Tanya. Clover was playing with string this day, which is really encouraging because it meant that she had more of a play drive again. So I have another Molly playing with Dust Bunny sticker from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then the only thing I'm going to mark on the extender here is going to teach my classes and attend my office hour. So I just have a teacher Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. I am glad that I was able to not cover up that wildflower underlay at all because it is so pretty. And it doesn't necessarily go with the theme of this kit, but at the same time, it kind of does. I kind of like it as a contrast to the very modern art in this kit. Then this was the day where we were really trying to figure out, is Clover getting better or is she getting worse? It's really hard to tell when you've been staring at the same animal for all day, every day. We were in contact with the vet because the vet was maybe thinking that we needed to up her dosage or change to a different medication, which is all very stressful because this whole thing is a logistical nightmare, quite frankly. So I just used an anxiety Molly to mark all of that. Basically, she texted me early in the morning this day, but I had to go to work. So I was like, I'll get back to you later with like our final decisions. And then on the drive home, I like was driving straight into a rainstorm. Like where I was in town, it wasn't raining. And then I drove home and just drove into an absolute downpour. It was kind of hilarious. I'm just like, it's pouring in this very specific part of town. We gave Clover her second dose of her immunostimulant that she gets weekly, so that is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then I watched more Great British Bake Off, so that is from Alicia Kraft. And the weather icon, if I didn't mention, was from Planet Hannah. Saturday, we got up to give Clover her medication at like 7 in the morning, and then we both went back to bed until 11, which is late for us. So I used a bed icon from Alicia Kraft for that. We went on like a coffee brunch date. So I have a like latte Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. to mark that. And then there was a bookstore right next door. Like I said earlier, it focuses like all on African American authors and publications and things like that. It's called Underground Books. I would definitely recommend checking it out. And I marked that with the Black Lives Matter notebook that is deco from the kit because I thought that went really well with going to a Black-owned bookstore. Clover was steadier on her feet this day, which was good to see. She's still not 100%, but she is very active and she's trying. And like, I think just with the neurological issues, like it's going to take a lot longer for her to recover if she ever fully recovers. Than it did with her initial symptoms, which was just like infection. So I marked that with a Beneva Creations cat, and then I put up my Easter decorations this day, which are pretty simple. I have a wreath from Target that has a bunch of colorful Easter eggs. I really love that. And I have a bunny that I got that was in my grandparents' house when my grandpa died for some reason, like a stuffed animal bunny, not a real bunny. And then I have like a fake sort of lily because I can't have regular. I love lilies, but I love my cats more. And lilies are just an absolute no-go if you have cats. If you don't know, like even like them just being in the same room with them is potentially toxic, and I'm just not willing to risk it at all. So no lilies in my house. I have a fake lily instead. So anyway, to mark decorating for Easter, I pulled in this Easter Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Easter, of course, was not until the end of the month, but I pretty much keep my Easter decorations up for all of March and April, regardless of when Easter is, because Easter is a different week every single year. So I just, it's my spring decorations. I usually take it down around my birthday. It also rained this day, later in the day, so that weather icons from Planet Hannah, watched more Great British Bake Off, and we had family time on the couch because both cats decided to join us on the couch while we were watching TV, so that was really cute. And I wanted to mark that, so I have a Beneva Creations cat for that. And then I slept in the office with Clover again. And when I say office, I mean it's our second bedroom that we use as an office. It has our desks in there. And we have lots of camping equipment, if you don't know, so it's not like I'm sleeping straight on the floor. We have like these generally pretty comfortable sleeping pads that inflate. They're pretty thin, but like that actually works better than like a thicker mattress. So anyway, I marked that with a pillow icon from Pink Diamond Planner Co. Sunday, we went and saw a movie at 10 in the morning because that's when we can see movies nowadays. Clover gets a lot of her medication in the evening, so it really doesn't make sense for us to go do nighttime plans, so especially for like a 3-hour movie. So we went and saw the earliest showing of Dune Part 2 this morning, and I'm glad we went. I talked about this already in I think a monthly plan with me. I actually liked Part 2 more than Part 1, and we did rewatch the first part like a week or two before this on Netflix because it was on there for most of February. You get a lot more of Zendaya in part 2, and I love what they did with her character in the movie. I like the character in the book too, but that is one, hopefully this isn't a spoiler, but that is one plot line that like really changes from the book versus the movie. The second half of the book, things definitely like are different. So I like a lot of the differences that they made in the movie So that was good to see. There's a couple of things. It's interesting. I feel like, let's just think out loud for a second. I feel like I prefer what they do in the book with Jessica, and I prefer what they do in the movie with Chani. And I'm kind of meh about Paul no matter what, but like, oh well. Let me know if you have watched Dune or read Dune. Let me know your thoughts. I've already talked about it with my husband to a great extent, and we're pretty much on the same page. So, and I got into Dune because of my husband. I generally read and watch sci-fi and fantasy anyway, but like I was never really going to pick up Dune except that he had it and that he bought the next 2 books in the series. So at first I was like, I'm not reading any more of this series. And then he bought the books and I'm like, well, now I might, especially seeing that the next 2 books are way shorter. So we'll see. I always have a million books that I'm reading. We went to Target for groceries after that. So I have a Once More with Love grocery icon and a Target script from Planet Hannah. Clover actually was able to jump up on the couch on her own this day, which is exciting. I had cramps, unfortunately. Those stickers are both from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then I worked on my ballot this day because we had a primary election coming up the next Tuesday. So I needed to work on my mail-in ballot because in California, they just mail you a ballot. That's just how things have been handled the last few years. So I have a lot of time to figure out who I'm voting for, which is kind of nice. It rained again this day. And then I got in bed and was just watching YouTube and cuddling Clover because I was not feeling well. So I have a Beneva Creations cat sleeping on the laptop, and then I layered that with a bed icon from Alicia Craft. And then Clover was playing with my hair, which is, we've been trying to discourage her from doing that, like her whole life, her whole time we've had her. But she stopped doing it for a while because she was feeling really unenergetic, or, we have a word for that. It's called lethargic. She wasn't feeling well. And this day she decided to start playing with my hair again. So that was a good marker of her feeling better. So I have a Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. at the end of Sunday to mark that. And now I'm just filling in with deco. I guess I did it at the end. I didn't do it at the beginning. And because I didn't have any overlays for this week, which is totally fine with me, if you're not familiar with my style, if I have a brand new kit, I pretty much don't buy foil for it unless it's like a super special week, like my wedding or like someone's birthday or something. But because this kit had a bunch of deco, I used not only the date covers, because it was a mini kit, I wasn't going to have that many leftovers anyway, but I used the deco along the top like a little bit, and then I used a lot of the bigger deco along the bottom, because especially there were a lot of people as part of the deco here, and like, this is just me, I feel weird like cutting off people's heads, so I want to make sure that I include the entire, oops, I just hit my microphone, I'm so sorry. I want to make sure I include the entire person. So putting them along the bottom helps with that. And I really, oh my goodness, if I haven't said already, I loved this art. I thought it was a great art set to put together. I also love that it was kind of like multimedia because there are photographs in it too. And I don't really like photo kits that much, but in this case, they were like part of the museum scenes, or like on Wednesday, I purposely put who I think is supposed to be the same person in the art form versus the photo form. I liked doing that as an extender to kind of show like the Painted Lilacs art version of her versus the photo version of her. So I liked that a lot. Yeah, I really love how this turned out. So thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble on about my week. So many extenders this week for staying home a lot, but I just wanted to mark every little thing relating to Clover, and I had so many full boxes in this mini kit anyway that it made sense to do extenders. So I'm really happy with it, and like I said, like this mini kit went really far. This is just a mini kit and I marked a million things, and I think it turned out really well. So I will talk to you next time. Bye!